This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest from Alpena Community College with Dr. Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first two guests today are both from First Congregational Church, and we're here to talk about the Serve Bazaar. I have Bobby Zuby and Karen Bacon. Good morning, ladies, and welcome.
Thank you. Good morning to you.
Thanks for being here. And I know what a Serve Bazaar is because you've been on the show before. Not you, but someone else from your church. So why don't you start us out, Bobby, and tell us what it is.
Okay. First, I'd like to say it's spelled S-E-R-R-V.
Okay.
And Karen can tell you what that stands for.
Okay.
It is an acronym for Sales Exchange for Refugee Rehabilitation and Vocation.
Ah, okay.
Started in 1949, just after World War II.
Wow, so it's been around a long time.
Yes, it has. 70 years, one of the first fair trade organizations.
Well, and how long has your church been doing this event? Do you know that?
For 45 years.
Wow.
We have the Bazaar. Now, we do not benefit financially from this. All our monies go to support the various artisans and farmers in underdeveloped countries. And it helps to also to build stronger communities.
Sure.
And in some countries, there are 700 million people, half of them children, living on $1.90 a day.
Wow.
Our church has sponsored, as I said, Serve Bazaar for 45 years. And Karen will tell us a little bit about what the Bazaar has.
Well, we have over 1,000 unique handicraft items.
Wow.
And they're traditional. They use traditional materials and traditional patterns from whatever country. All kinds of unique gifts.
Okay, and so your church has been doing this for 45 years. Now, what happens with the money then when you send it back to the Serve organization?
It serves to help all the countries that have made, all the artisans and all the farmers.
It creates employment for the people, the artisans and the farmers, the opportunities for all of them, regardless of gender, race, or religion. And they work to prevent child labor, making sure that the children stay in schools. They pay fair wages in advance to ensure that they can support themselves and their families while they work. They encourage sustainable practices. They care about the planet and encourage the artisans to use sustainable crafting methods and recycled materials. They support community development. They provide loans and donations to help build workshops, fund health care and education initiatives, recover from natural disasters, and additional community improvement projects. They preserve, as I said, the traditional crafting techniques using the same methods and patterns and materials that have been handed down through the ages.
So what they do is all these artisans get together, they make these items, Serve puts them in bazaars at different churches across the country. Then the money all goes back to the people, the artisans. That's wonderful.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, somebody want to tell me about some of the wonderful items you brought today?
Well, I'd be glad to do that. There is a huge assortment of items. You might list some of them.
Well, we have handmade baskets, rugs, pillows, bedding items, carved wood items, alpaca throws, Christmas tree decorations, nativity scenes, ceramic dishware, chocolate, fair trade chocolate made without soy, jams, delicious soups, spices, clothing, scarves, as well as unique jewelry and handbags.
It's a great opportunity to get your Christmas shopping in advance. this, for example, is one of the baskets.
It's wonderful.
And you can fold it down like this, or you can use it with the handles. This is an example of a Christmas decoration. This is a,
Oh, is that
looks
cute?
like a chipmunk, I think.
Yes,
a really
it
cute
is.
chipmunk. And this is very pretty design. And then we have this beautiful scarf, silk scarf.
It's gorgeous.
This is an example of
Nice.
what they have. And here is it's so soft. I think it's alpaca.
I bet.
But
Oh, man.
it's a neck scarf too
Yes,
that you
that's
twist
beautiful.
and put around. And then this is an example of the ceramics that they make, but they have beautiful ceramics.
Okay.
Gorgeous, different. Some of them are decorative like that bird there, but then this is a cilantro lime with black bean and rice dish.
Ooh, okay.
So
soup.
they're so easy to make. You just add water,
Yeah.
and they're delicious. And we have the best chocolate. They sell
Divine.
big bars and smaller bars, and it's so tasty.
And you can attest that it tastes good, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, very good.
All different flavors, mango.
Oh, okay, you
Yes.
know. So we need to, before we run out of time, we need to say when and where we can come to
Right.
this bazaar.
The date is October 26th.
Okay.
That's Saturday. It's at the First Congregational Church, where Reverend Dr. Paul Lance is our minister, and it will be held in the fellowship room, and the timing is from 9 o'clock a.m. until 4 p.m.
Okay, and it said you have like nativity scenes too, so
Yeah, right.
just
That's
lots of really good
lots of
things.
Lots of things.
Okay, so it says behind every fair trade handcraft we sell, there's a story of positive change. So that's neat when you think about that people in a community who maybe never had the opportunity to earn any money or be treated fairly, that they can build or make something and have it be sold, and then they get it back as a fair, honest wage. Improve their communities.
It's great fun. It's fun too. You can't. When I walk through, it's like I'm in a fog. I can't quit looking at all the different items.
Well, over
But I
1,000 items, yes.
should also tell you the address of our
Okay,
church.
yes, please.
It's 201 South 2nd Avenue. The cross street is Lockwood, right
Okay.
downtown.
Okay. Well, I want to thank both of you very much for being here. We're out of time, and I hope that your event is very successful, and thank you for doing what you
Nancy.
do.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll be right back with some information from Alpena Senior Center following these messages. Hi, welcome back. My last guest today is BJ Sander from Alpena Area Senior Citizen Center. Hi, BJ.
Hi, Nancy. How are you today?
I'm doing great, and I think I told you before we started taping that I went and tried some of your homemade bread, and it was absolutely delicious. And then I bought a few of the rotted knives to start Christmas shopping. So it's more than just a congregate meal place. There's lots of good, exciting things that happen there.
Well, we're working on establishing a bakery at the senior center, so that's where the homemade bread comes into play. So then we started a fundraiser on top of that because our kitchen staff makes an amazing soup. So we started a fundraiser, so every week you can call and order based off of our menu a loaf of bread and a quart of soup. And you get both of those for only $12, and you pick those up on Friday, a perfect Friday night meal or even a Saturday or Sunday lunch, and it's wonderful, and you don't have to cook anything, you just warm it up and it's delicious.
It is, and it's very, very good. I know some of my coworkers have tried it and they said it's perfect. So I encourage everyone to call the senior center and get your soup and bread on Friday.
Yeah.
And you have different kinds of soup each week.
Every week there's a different type of soup. So what people need to know though is that you need to call no later than Wednesday afternoon, early Thursday, because we have to make sure that we get all that soup prepared for Friday.
Sounds wonderful. And you brought this really cool handout sheet. It says knowledge is power, did you know? And it lists some of your programs and some of the things you do, but there's no way that on a two-sided sheet of paper you could tell about everything you do at
Right.
the senior center.
Right, so we did a presentation in September for National Senior Center Month because we feel that it's important that we let the community know exactly what takes place at the center. And it's amazing that every time I talk to somebody about it, they're like, well, we had no idea you do those things. So I would just want to go over a couple little points in each area.
Sure.
So We have many Alzheimer's programs. We have an early onset support group that meets once a month. We have a garden that's focusing on Alzheimer's people working in that garden. We have It Takes a Community, which we're going to kick off next month. Annie and I became certified dementia practitioners. We'll be going out into the community with this grant and working with businesses and organizations on how to work with people, or how to identify someone that has Alzheimer's and how to approach those people. Empowered Movement, an amazing exercise program that we started at the Senior Center. I was just telling you that we've got 85 people in that exercise class that we do 3 days a week, starting at 9:30 on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
All ages of senior and all degrees of skills.
Absolutely, absolutely. And when I tell people it's chair exercise, they're like, we can do much more than chair exercise. But when they come, it's interesting to watch those people.
Yes.
So that's a lot of fun. In-home services, we want people to know that we have 6 full-time staff and 7 part-time staff, and we've got 202 people that receive services from that program from the year September 1st, 18 until September 1st, 2019. Services are received at a suggested donation rate of $6 per hour,
Wow.
which is crazy.
Yes, it
And
is.
it's a suggested donation. If people can't afford it, they don't have to pay it.
Wow.
Meals on Wheels. We serve approximately, not only serve them or deliver them, we prepare 5,000 meals monthly and deliver to Alpena County. And we all know how big Alpena County is, and we cover the entire county with that. And then going to the back of our sheet, Project Student Entrepreneurs, which is a grant that we received through the Michigan Health Endowment Fund, collaborating with ACES Academy, bringing students into our kitchen, learning how to work in a commercial kitchen. Part of that grant was also our bakery that we talked about a few minutes ago, called the Bread Basket. So that's an ongoing development and management of that bakery, and also the ongoing development and management of our on-site gardening, called the Veggie Cart. So that's been an amazing success this past summer, and is a little bit heartbreaking for me now that it's the end of the season.
It is.
But we sold a lot of lettuce. We're going to be focusing on lettuce next year, and we're going to be doing different types of lettuce. So we're going to
So
be
many different
experimenting.
kinds.
Yes. Make sure next summer that you guys come by and try out our wasabi arugula.
Wow.
That tastes just like wasabi.
Wow.
It's amazing. Also, we've got 2 programs that are critical points. We've recently had to stop our transportation grant because our funds were depleted. So now we've got seniors out in the community that are struggling with getting to doctor's appointments, getting to the hospital, and doing their shopping. So that grant, we had to stop that particular project at the end of September. We'll continue on with it starting January, when our grant money is replenished.
Okay, very good. That's an important program.
Absolutely. And med management, we're continuing on with it, but we're trying not to take any more people on because that program has also depleted the funds.
Okay.
And we also want people to know how we get our funding. 70% of our funding comes from federal and state. We've got 30% that we have to fundraise and ask donations for, and as we all know, all those particular funds are being restricted, and we're not getting as much, so of course that 30% goes up and up and up that
Yes.
we have to do, or we have to cut programs.
So ways people can help in our community are to offer sponsorships for programs, donations, and volunteering. Like you said, if the funds are depleted for getting seniors where they need to go, maybe someone could come in and say, hey, you know, I have a good driving record and good transportation. I'd take a few seniors a few times a week to different places they need to go.
And we did that in our exercise class. I let the exercise class know that we were not going to be able to be getting those few seniors that come that we were transporting to our exercise class. Now I've got seniors picking them up.
That's
so
wonderful.
It's amazing how the senior population in Alpena County pulls together and does what it needs to do to help each other, and that's just awesome.
And the congregate meals?
Yes, congregate meals, Monday through Friday. We serve lunch at 11:30 to 12:30 every day but Friday, and of course the weekend we serve dinner, and that's from 5 to 6. That will be changing with daylight savings time. We'll start serving at 4:30, our
Okay.
evening meal.
And if anyone walks in the door, they have to stay because it smells so divine. You have to
does.
check it out.
And it's only $3.50 suggested donation for a senior to come in and eat. If you want to bring a guest that's under the age of 60, it's $7 for that person.
And it's a wonderful meal.
It's a delicious meal.
Okay, so give me an idea of some things people maybe could do as volunteers.
We're always struggling with finding people to sit at our congregate desk, which is the desk that you walk in and seniors ask for change. They put their own money in the donation box, but when they need change, we've got a volunteer that sits there and does that. It's a very consuming time for someone to sit there. Lunch starts at 11:30. People start coming in around 11, so we ask that people who want to work that desk come in at 11. Lunch is over at 12:30. So the only thing you really have to do is talk to people, guide them in the right direction, and give them change if they need change.
Perfect, okay. And I would like to encourage people, if they're not on the mailing list, to get the newsletter that you do. It's a wonderful newsletter. It's full of color, good articles, gives the schedule of what goes on, gives the congregate meal schedule. Just a really nice publication.
Yes, it's a great newsletter, and you can subscribe to that newsletter for only $12 a month, and you get one every month.
Perfect. Okay, what's the best way to reach you?
356-3585. My name is BJ Sander. I'm the program manager at the center, and I'm always available to whatever you might need.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Please stay tuned for Dr. Don McMaster following these messages.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster, president of Alpena Community College. Pleased to have as our guest this morning Amanda Sumricks, workforce development technician at Alpena Community College. Welcome, Amanda.
Thank you.
What does a workforce development technician at ACC do?
So it's kind of fun because I do something different almost every day. We help plan trainings for employers in the area who need training, whether that be safety training or some kind of leadership skills, soft skills. We help plan that. And then I've also been helping with the grant writing at the college, so that's been awesome because I really like to write, and it's been good to be able to use that skill.
And you've used it to quite good effect here over the last, well, about 2 or 3 months. Yep. In August, a grant that that Dawn Stone, you and myself worked on, a USDA distance learning and telemedicine grant was funded for $500,000.
Yep, that's correct.
Yes.
For 3 years.
For 3 years. Yeah. That was wonderful.
Yes.
And then last week, a grant we teamed up on again to the United States Department of Education was funded to the tune of $2,250,000.
Yes.
For 5 years.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Well, congrats to you.
So in that process, what sort of things jumped out to you as somebody who's kind of beginning that part of your career?
So in that process, whenever my supervisor, Don, that you mentioned, and I are working on a grant, that's just what we're focused on. And it's just been awesome to be able to do the research and to keep going through it. I mean, we go through every part of the proposal. So that's been an awesome learning experience. And I've also learned a lot more about the college doing the research for grants, because we get to know, what areas need help and what can we try to fund to help grow the institution as a whole.
Yeah, I think many folks don't have a real clear grasp of what grant writing is about, and especially larger grants to large agencies. It involves it's not just kind of a whim and a wish. You have to really focus in on every little bullet point that the funder wants addressed, and be able to deliver on that.
Right.
So you did that, and Dawn and I.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what does the SIP grant do? What's it going to do for the college?
The SIP grant is the Strengthening Institutions Program, and the purpose of it is to really help colleges become more self-sufficient and to improve the outcomes of all students and the academic quality. So as you know, when we were writing it, we chose to do 3 different objectives. The first objective is to expand the nursing program. The second objective is to strengthen student services. And the third objective is to advance the college's endowment.
Wonderful. Well put. Very accurate.
Yeah.
And so let's start on the first one. The nursing program, as folks know, we're on the beginning an exciting project to move that over to Van Laer Hall and bring in a lot of technology, teaching and mannequin type technology.
Right.
So what part in the grant did that play?
So the grant will help fund the new technology that the nursing students will be getting. With the renovation, it kind of plays into that. So the grant will fund the advanced simulation technology, and that I think will really help the nursing students because just like any industry, healthcare technology is always changing and it's always growing. So it'll be awesome that our students can have the latest and greatest technology with this grant.
Very good. Mannequin technologies are connected to a computer that you can program simulations. So
Right.
a mannequin could be programmed to demonstrate the symptoms of a heart attack or choking or things that are much more complicated, and they're expensive devices.
Yes, they are.
So this grant that you helped write will support the college's fundraising for that project to the tune of about $380,000. A big deal.
Yes, it is.
So how about the student services piece?
So the student services piece will help all students. The grant specifically is targeted towards low-income students, but I think the improvements that we'll make will help all students at the institution. And we want to focus on retention and bringing students back. And part of that, I think, is helping students with the challenges that they face outside of the classroom, the non-academic challenges. And in our proposal, we included a survey that the college sent out to students last year. And that survey asked students, you know, what are the challenges that you face and what are the obstacles that keep you from coming to class or from registering or even doing your homework. And the top 3 that we want to focus on and the top 3 that were set in the survey from students were transportation and work and personal finances. So however we can help in those areas, whether it's providing, you know, workshops about personal finances and about insurance and how to save for retirement, stuff like that. And then we'll continue to offer internships and co-ops to help students in that area.
Very well put. Yes, that is an accurate summary of what we did. And there is a need there. And the survey, which was organized and done by Jay Walterwright, was very timely in that regard. It provided student-level data that we were able to put into the grant and say this is the landscape at our college. We have about a minute left, so what would be the endowment advancement piece?
So the endowment advancement piece would fund some new software for the alumni office to use to really track alumni and make sure that we're reaching everyone that has had an impact on the college and from the college, and to increase our supporters and friends of the college.
Well put. Yes. This has been a keen interest of mine, and it is for the folks that are involved in the foundation and the trustees as well. We have many, many thousands of people who have gone through and registered at ACC. Maybe they took 3 semesters, maybe they graduated, maybe like yourself, they were a dual enrollment student, and we don't know where they are. And we can't, so then we can't reach out to them with news about the college and then maybe enlist their support.
Right.
So this grant will allow us to do it.
It will.
Amanda, thank you for your help on the grant.
Thank you.
And thank you folks for watching Talk of the Town. We'll see you again next week.
This has been Talk of the Town with your host, Nancy Smitham and Dr. Don McMaster. For a list of community events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on our community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.